नमस्ते फ्रेंड, आप सभी का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है। फ्रेंड्स, लेटरल हायरिंग इन द पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स स्पार्क डिबेट। एक इकोनॉमिक मैगजीन में एक आर्टिकल आया और आजकल बैंकों में भी लेटरल हायरिंग हो रही है। जो बैंक के इंटरनल स्टाफ हैं उनके अलावा बैंक बाहर से स्पेशलाइज कैटेगरीज के लोगों की भर्ती कर रही है। वो कितना सार्थक है बैंकों के लिए, क्या इस पर डिबेट की बात आती है। और इसको बात करें तो द रिसेंट एग्जिट्स ऑफ द सम सीनियर ऑफिशियल फ्रॉम पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स hired from the private sector has sparked debate in the banking sector about the relevance of the lateral hiring from private banks. These exits have come at a time when the Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had said recently that the PSBs need high quality professionals, including those from the private sector, to grow business. Last month, Union Bank of India Chief Digital Officer CDO Rajneesh Khare resigned from the bank after a mere 15-month tenure, despite having a 5-year contract with the bank, while Yusuf Rupawala, CDO of Bank of India, resigned in January this year. Contrary to the silent exits of these two officials, Bank of Baroda CDO Akhil Handa exits in November last year got wide publicity due to the Bob World App mishap. I tried changing things, but it was simply not worth it. I had to quit, says a senior banker who was hired from the private sector by a large PSB. Meanwhile, Rupawala, who worked with the Standard Chartered Bank of Chief Information Officer for over 30 years, was appointed as a Chief Technology Officer by Bank of India in July 23 and left the bank in January 24, a mere 7-month stint. According to the sources, Rupawala wanted to lead the digital banking operations of the bank entirely, but as he had to report to the Chief General Manager, he tendered his resignation, citing personal reasons. Rupawala has now returned to the private sector, serving as CIO of Unity Small Finance Bank since February 24. Separately, Ritu Jharija, who was a private sector employee and was appointed as the head of digital marketing by Union Bank in June 23, quit the bank in November 23 after just 6 months. Amit Sharma, who was heading Union Bank's Learning Academy division, also quits before his tenure. Union Bank did not respond to the queries sent by Financial Economics till past time. According to the sources, several other senior officials in the large PSB hired from the private sector are looking at the exit door. Why the exits? जब हम ये सुन रहे हैं कि जो प्राइवेट सेक्टर से जो हमारे सीनियर ऑफिसर लेटरली हायर होकर पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स में आ रहे हैं, वो अपना बिना टेन्योर पूरा करे छोड़ के चले जा रहे हैं, उसके पीछे रीजन क्या है? Why the exits? Officials from private sector bank may face resistance from the existing officials due to the wide pay gap, said the HR head of a public sector bank. The total cost to cost company of the existing digital officer having chief general manager rank is around rupees 70 to 75 lakhs per annum, and it includes all the allowances, while the candidates from private banks are offered upward of rupees 1 crore for the same position. Further, one official who recently quit from a large PSB after being hired directly from the private sector said employees, especially those in the commanding position at large PSBs, do not cooperate fully with officials like him who come from the private sector. Some people like us, private sector hires in PSB, do not work for glory, but by denying us permission to do the right things. These officials want to show that private sector lateral hirings in PSB do not work. This entirely derails the government's agenda of bringing the best of talents in the public sector, they said. In November 23, after the Reserve Bank of India barred Bob from onboarding new customer on its flagship Bob World app, Honda quit from this position. Bob MD CEO Dev Datta Chand, however, had then countered Honda's stance, saying his contract was terminated along with the several staffers for the Bob World mischief. Decision-making process is slow in public sector banks because every decision taken by the official is under the lens of higher official, while private banks give a free hand to take risky bets. The decision-making process is well-defined and time-taking, while in the private banks, the decision-making is fast. हम ये कह सकते हैं, लेकिन पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक का जो कल्चर है वर्किंग का, डिसीजन मेकिंग विथ द रिस्क असेसमेंट, जबकि प्राइवेट सेक्टर में विदाउट रिस्क असेसमेंट दे आर गोइंग फॉर द एनी रिस्क. सो जो कल्चर है उस कल्चर में मेरे समझ से जो आने वाले हायर ऑफिशियल होते हैं वो फिट नहीं बैठते हैं. दे वांट फ्री हैंड विदाउट द रिस्क असेसमेंट. जहां पे मनी इन्वॉल्व है वहां फास्ट होने के साथ साथ रिस्क असेसमेंट भी जरूरी है. सो व्हाई नॉट बी प्रेफर टू फोकस ऑन आवर ओन टैलेंट्स by giving them expertise training and enhance their talent. Thank you friends. Namaste.